An interesting view there you have, and quite an interesting interview that you're having in studio with regards to the wars that are here between the National Assembly and the Senate. And this both houses, the majority leaders, as we showed yesterday in one of our stories, is that they are not agreeing on matters to move forward with regards to how Parliament should be run, and it is running into headwinds. One of the things that has actually created this anomaly right now is the fact that a bill on health, and health being touching on counties, was passed by the National Assembly and taken to the President for assent without the input of Senate. And senators led by their majority leader, that is Kipchumba Murkomen, were very worried, and they are saying they are scared with this trajectory with regards to how the National Assembly is behaving. And yesterday when I had an interview with both majority leaders, they each called each other children, or their behavior is like that of children with regards to how Parliament should be run. And this matter on how the Senate should be involved on some of this, the runnings of Parliament, has become a subject of discussion with regards to what role should they play. Yes, they derive their mandate from the Constitution, but even as they derive their mandate from the Constitution, does the National Assembly actually even go ahead to give them that opportunity? Remember yesterday in our interview with Kipchumba Murkomen, that is the Senate Majority Leader, he said that whatever has happened with regards to the health bill, it has actually led them to constitute a committee that will be led by Nandi Senator, that is Samson Cherargei, and they want to look at all the laws that have been passed at the National Assembly and taken for assent to the President without the input of the Senate. Remember, in 2013, they were able to go to the Supreme Court and they got an interpretation of the law with regards to what it touches on counties and what bill should not be passed before it has gone to the Senate. So right now, I'm joined by Meru Senator Mithika Linturi to delve more into this issue and just understand, is the National Assembly just trying to ignore the Senate, or are they justified in what they are doing? Remember, you were in the National Assembly, then you transitioned into the Senate just the other day in 2017.
Personally, I wouldn't want to take this matter as a supreme battle or between the Senate and the National Assembly, because we may be escalating this matter to levels that they are not. But it is important to say that I think if I was to apportion blame, I would blame the speakers of the two houses of Parliament, because the business of the House Assembly, of the National Assembly, is to pass their bill. The Speaker of the National Assembly knows, just like the Speaker of the Senate, that, for example, the matter in question, or the matter in context, the bills, is a bill that touches on counties, and the Constitution has clear provisions on any law that has to touch on that touches on the counties. Then, after passage by the National Assembly, has to be communicated to the Senate by way of communication to the Senate from the Speaker of the National Assembly. So the failure to transmit the bill to the National Assembly, to the Senate from the National Assembly, squarely lies on the Speaker of the National Assembly. And for that matter, I would want us to get out the debate from the National Assembly as a whole and deal with the Speaker himself, because he's aware of us with the Constitution. He's been serving in that office for quite some time, and he particularly is aware of what is required of him as on any matter that touches on the Senate. I got surprised when the Senate bill went to the President for assent, and yet the Senate Speaker was one of the flower girls that witnessed the swearing, the signing of the bill, when he clearly knew that is a bill that he had not presided over in the Senate. I think you should have raised that matter at that particular stage. That matter should have been discussed at that level. And then we would have seen how to go about it other than bring this kind of acrimony. Secondly, I would also believe that before the president signs any bill into law, is undevised, because he has is an attorney general who is the legal advisor to the president and to government. And I would not have expected the advice of the attorney general not to have been sought before the assent of this particular bill.
So basically we are saying that one of the people who are to blame for this is actually the Speaker of the Senate, because, as you said, he was there as a flower girl trying to look at what is being assented to by the President, yet he should have known that that bill has not gone to the Senate for discussing and eventual passage for assent by the President.
I said a part of the blame has to go to him, and that's why I was bringing in the aspect of advising by the Attorney General. And I am saying clearly in my mind, if the Attorney General advice was sought in regard to assent, the Attorney General should also have known that that bill required to have been committed to the Senate. And if he did advise the signing of the consent without the participation of the Senate, then purely he doesn't know what he's doing, he's incompetent, and time, I think, would be important for us to sit down again and scrutinize the kind of team that advises the president on various legal matters, because he has goofed a number of times before. We've been the institution of the president has been put to shame because of certain laws that have been passed, and yet should have been advised. And I can tell you, without any fear of contradiction, that this matter, the error of the bill that was assented to, as far as I am concerned, my legal mind tells me that you cannot pass the constitutional legitimacy. And for that matter, and since we want to go to the courts to challenge the manner in its constitutionality in terms of process of how it was done, its effect, without the participation of the people, I'm telling you, this bill will be declared unconstitutional. It will fail, and this is what I want the president to know, that once this is done by the courts, he has to look at the kind of people that surround him.
Well, Ken, just before I let the good Senator for Meru go, there is this question on members of parliament and their parks. And remember, yesterday the SRC had a press conference and demanded that members of parliament, this is including members of the National Assembly and the Senate, must refund what they were given with regards to the housing allowance. And Mheshimiwa, are you going to refund this money as the SRC is requiring of you?
I think, Murevi, what is important to note here is I personally believe in constitutional order and proper practices and respect for institutions. To me, I do not have I will only have a problem with the want of the allowance to the members if the due processes required in law were not followed. Otherwise, I will not have a problem with a member of parliament being given an house allowance, because a member of parliament is a state officer just like any other. Nobody makes noise about the house allowance for the president, for the deputy, the ministers, the permanent secretaries, the governor, the deputy governor. These are state officers, or even the constitutional office owners. They all are entitled to house allowances. Why it becomes a problem that a member of parliament has been given an house allowance is something I do not understand. So I have no problem with them getting the house allowance. I only have a problem if the process that gave them or ended in the allocation or in the allowance of the house allowance is out of order or is inconsistent with the laid down procedures or rules, then that allowance won't be illegal. And where, if found to have been legal because I was not subject or I was not a party to the motions that gave out the allowance, and the court soon decides that this money was paid to you illegally and for that matter you must refund, then I'll be able and willing to pay anytime.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. Well, Ken Mijungu, that is a matter that has been canvassed by the Senator for Meru Mithika Linturi, and he says if they did not follow the due process, then he will refund that money. But as it stands right now, he does not see any law that was flouted. Back to you, Ken, for your discussion in studio.